I'm an emergency manager and former first responder, and here at Stormway Consulting, we are starting an educational series on TikTok and YouTube that is going to break down the basic concepts of emergency management and disaster response for the general public to understand, because there's a lot of misinformation going around, especially during this time as the LA wildfires are ongoing. And we are also seeing a lot of folks that may not realize that there is a lot more that goes into disaster response and emergency management on an incident of this scale. We have 3 really basic rules on this page and our YouTube page. Number 1 is if you can't take action, practice compassion. So disaster survivors are going through a lot. They don't need your misinformation, your judgment, or your ideas of how this could be done with no expertise, no education, or no knowledge in that area. The best thing you can do for them is support. The second rule is critical thinking. So if we see information online, let's critically think about it before we spread it or start repeating it. Is the information you saw actually realistic in a real life scenario? Or does it just sound like a really good headline or a story to grab your attention and therefore you feel the need to repeat it? The third rule is do research, do reading. Reading isn't hard, it's just boring sometimes. But what we're seeing is a lot of people don't realize a lot of the information around emergency response, disaster response, how certain things are handled with public government, is those documents are public information. By law, they have to be available to the public. So it's really easy for you to go and research policies, laws, regulations, budgets. Don't read headlines about budgets, go read the budget. Disasters and emergencies are very complex situations with a lot of moving parts and a lot of experts helping out. Everybody working them has to be incredibly adaptable to the situation. And these situations are not black and white. How they're handled, prevented, mitigated, responded to, and recovered from is not black and white. So we really encourage you to learn more about these situations beyond the headlines, beyond the flashy videos. And if you have questions and we're able to answer them, we're happy to. Our comments are not a place for politics or opinions that are unfounded in fact. If you bring dangerous misinformation or opinions into our comments, we will reply to them, as we have a zero tolerance policy for those things. I am the primary lead on these videos. I have a master's degree in emergency management. I served as a first responder on an ambulance and a fire truck. I've been deployed to a multitude of disasters around the country in multiple roles, and I'm an all hazards specialist. I earned my way up through this career, and I worked very hard to build my career into what it is. I'm very passionate about working as an emergency manager, and I feel very fortunate that I'm very passionate about the job that I do. Welcome to Stormway Consulting. We hope you learned something.